Welcome. I'm Dr. Fraser Pearson, and I'm here on the campus of Pacifica Graduate School with Dr. James Hillman, the founder of Arquetipal Psychology. Dr. Hillman is internationally known as the champion of psyche, the soul of psychology. Dr. Hillman, hello.
Hello. I'm already troubled. I'm already troubled. I don't really like the idea of founder of something. It's St. Peter on his rock or something. I think I'd rather be a renegade psychologist. I don't mind being a champion of psyche. I think every person is a champion of psyche, or at least a representative of psyche. But I think it's hard to say what kind of psychologist I am or what archetypal psychology is, so you're in a difficult chair.
Well, I hope between the two of us we'll be able to talk a little bit about what archetypal psychology is and psyche and the soul.
Yeah, I hope so. Another part of that founding is a lot of what archetypal psychology does is criticize or bring critical sense to things. Mm-hmm. And that's a little different than setting up a whole lot of principles.
Yes.
It's working with what's already there and trying to rework it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. As you proposed in revisioning psychology.
Yeah. Exactly. Yes. Revisioning psychology.
Yes.
A fortunate title. It was a fortunate title, yeah.
And you're describing this as difficult. It's not an easy process to revision something that has become systematized.
True. Or that has become believed in, very strongly believed in as empirically verified. Mm-hmm. Then you're challenging very deep ideas. Of course, also psychology has set itself up, psychotherapy has set itself up as helping the disturbed, you know, what do you call pacifying, mm-hmm. or making things secure or helpful or you know, it's a progressivist kind of fantasy that things we will make things easier, better, softer, nicer, more dealable or copable. Mm-hmm. And sometimes the psyche upsets us in order for us to go further with our lives and our thoughts.
Yes. From reading your work, it sounds like it's quite frequent that psyche upsets us in that way to help us to go further.
The psyche upsets us. Because that's really the question, isn't it? I mean, a person goes to therapy because of a symptom, because of a problem, as we call them, or as an upset, disturbance. And the question is not so much how to get rid of that as it is, why is this disturbance coming in my life? What does it want? Mm-hmm. What kind of a life have I got that it needs this disturbance to it?
Yes, that really is a very different vision. But I'm wondering, how shall we start our conversation today?
Where are we? Where are we? I mean, we should start with what they call the here and now. Mm-hmm. Where are we now? What's psychology worth now? Look at the world. Look at the USA. Look at all the people who've taken psychology courses, and look at the lack of psychology in our government, in our attitudes. I mean, we haven't a clue. We go around the world as if there was no such thing as a psyche, no such thing as a soul. I mean, we bomb and exploit and take and kill, and as if this had no effect in the soul of our own people, let alone other people. Yeah. If you ask me, as you did when we were talking earlier, what's on my mind, I'm worried about the soul of our own country from the effects of what we do. That certainly is on my mind.
And when you talk about the soul of our country and our soul, tell me what you mean by that.
Well, I think I mean what people say when they've heard soul music, or when they have eaten soul food, or when they address each other as soul brother, soul sister, or their partner is their soul mate. They know what they're talking about. The curious thing is, when you try to take what they're talking about, what they sense we're talking about, and translate it into psychology, you lose it.
Yeah.
You don't know what it is, because you can't define it in rational terms, in the usual, not rational, but conceptual terms, you know, making a nice, clean idea of it. It's not a clean idea. It's experience. It's something that has to do with the depth of you. It has to do with something that matters. It has to do with something to do with love, with connection. It's something to do with risk and death. So those are all involved in that. Also tragedy. You think of soul music, and there's a deep sense of beauty and tragedy together. That's all to do with soul.
So psychology as a discipline seems to miss that.
I think it's afraid of it. I think it invents boxes, diagnoses, tests, statistics, graphs, rules, laws to keep it away. So I'm a little tough on psychology, but not on soul. And yet psychology, the word psyche, is a soul is the English word for the Greek word psyche. And psychology should mean logos, the study of the psyche, the study of the soul. But I don't think psychology is the study of the soul as universities present it.